Good day everyone, this is Echo 419. And today we're reviewing the P-Bandai high-grade Cosmic Era GAT-01 Strike Dagger, which is the first mass-produced mobile suit to see combat from the Earth Alliance in Mobile Suit Gundam C. We'll also do some comparisons with the Dagger L, which this kit is based on. Let's begin. The Strike Dagger is a P-Bandai kit, as evidenced by the monochromatic box. You can see how the standard P-Bandai boxes are plain when compared to standard release boxes. Let's take a look at what comes inside the box. Upon opening the box, you can see there are 3 sealed plastic bags. The first bag has the polycaps and runners D and E2. The second bag contains runners B2, C, and SB13. The final bag holds runners A, B1, and E1. And after the parts is the instruction manual. The polycap runner is PC002, which has been in use in many gunpla kits since around 2013. Runner A is the multicolored runner with various armor and joint pieces. Runners B1 and B2 consist of the light gray external armor pieces. Runner C holds various joint pieces and the hands. Runner D is the single clear blue piece for both the main and forehead camera. Runners E1 and E2 are unique to this kit and comprise more armor pieces, the parachute pack, and the beam rifle. Runner SB13 are the uniquely yellow-colored beam saber blades. Being a P-Bandai kit, the instruction manual is very basic and doesn't have all of the neat extra information that standard release instruction manuals do. Instead, it is simply printed onto a single sheet and trifolded. The Strike Dagger shares many runners with the 2021 released Dagger L, such as both using PC002. Runner A for the Dagger L is shown on the left, and Runner A for the Strike Dagger is on the right. By placing the 2 runners on top of each other, we can see what the entire mold for Runner A is. This is a prime example of how a complete runner mold will be created for a particular line of mobile suits, but only portions of the mold will be used for a particular kit. A good showcase of this is all of the Zaku kits and its variants. The portions highlighted in green are specific to the Dagger L, whereas the parts highlighted in orange are strictly on the Strike Dagger runner. The purple area is the section of Runner A that both kits share. We can see more differences with runners B1. Once again, the Dagger L is on the left and the Strike Dagger is on the right. Runners B2 are nearly identical for both kits. And here we see the entire Runner B mold. Looking at the evidence provided from both runners A and B, we can see that even though only the Dagger L was released in 2021, Bandai always had plans on releasing the Strike Dagger. As before, the green highlighted area shows the Dagger L specific parts, the orange highlighted area shows those parts specific to the Strike Dagger, and the purple highlighted portion is parts appearing in both kits. Runner C is identical for both kits, although there is a very slight color differentiation between the two. Runner D is different for both kits, and both share the same SB13 beam saber blade runners, albeit in different colors. The Dagger L uses pink beam blades and the Strike Dagger uses yellow. Runners E1 and E2 can be placed as shown to reveal what most of the Runner E mold would look like. The question, however, is what unrevealed parts fill this empty section. Being heavily based on the Dagger L, the Strike Dagger does have some leftover parts. However, the remold syndrome is not nearly as bad as other kits, like the 2018 released high-grade build Divers Gundam Shining Break. Only 2 polycaps are left over, being the neck joint and the ball joint. The only pieces left over on Runner A are both halves of the beam carbine used by the Dagger L, along with the barrel piece. Runner B1 is completely used and the only leftover parts of Runner B2 is a second beam saber handle, and the sight section of the aforementioned beam carbine. This means that an entire beam carbine could be considered an extra accessory for this kit. Neat. There are lots of leftover parts on Runner C, and by themselves, they are unfortunately not that useful. All of these inner frame and support structure parts from the Strike and Build Strike Gundams could possibly be useful for an experienced modeler for custom work. Nothing is left on runners D, E1, and E2, and only one beam saber blade is left over on runner SB13 due to the Strike Dagger only being equipped with a single beam saber handle. The high-grade model kit of the Strike Dagger is remarkably accurate to its anime counterpart. With the anime version shown here on screen, you can see how color accurate the model kit is, with the only understandable inaccuracy is the gray on the feet around the foot-mounted 50 caliber anti-infantry guns. There are no stickers with this kit, so all of the color applications are done with color-correct plastic parts. Spinning around to the back and you can once again see how detailed the model kit is. There are 3 very minor spots that would need color correction to be 100% anime accurate. And those are the sensor on the back of the head, the small black stripe on the beam saber handle, and the red inside of the main thruster unit. The entire kit is nicely sculpted with lots of detail, and that is shown off well. There are so many minor details that are molded in, including the details on the neck joint and the 75mm C-Wiz on the left side of the head. Details are not lacking on the back of the head or torso either. The waist and legs may be plain, but aid with the grunt unit aesthetics. Keeping up with modern standards, there are no visible seam lines present. Taking a look at the back of the legs and waist, and you can see where the craftsmanship and design of the parts by Bandai really shines, as seam lines are cleverly hidden as natural panel lines where the armor comes together. Other kits will attempt to place and hide seam lines on the back of the kit, because most kits are displayed facing forward. The Strike Dagger, on the other hand, is a pleasure to look at from all angles. I really want to focus on some of the detailing within the thrusters on the back of the mobile suit and the vents on the front. Instead of being plain and flat pieces, these areas offer lots of sculpted detail. Another detail I noticed when building the kit is on the back of the thighs, where part of the inner frame and joint parts show through the armor. This is unique to this kit and is not featured on the kits this borrows parts from, such as the Dagger L or Strike Gundam. As previously mentioned, the high-grade Strike Dagger uses many parts from other kits with amazing articulation, such as the revived Strike Gundam and the Dagger L. That superb articulation is carried over, and we'll go over that articulation, starting with the head and working our way down the mobile suit. The head can look down that far, and look up that far. It can also do the giggity goo chicken head movement. The head can tilt from side to side, and rotate 360 degrees all the way around. The shoulder can move out and back from the torso on a hinged polycap joint, and raise about this far on the ball joint inside the polycap. The arm raises up about this far via a joint inside the shoulder assembly. There's a bicep swivel and the arm is able to fully rotate all the way around. The arm bends at the elbow at 2 joints, and the shoulder is able to rotate all the way around on that ball joint. The hands are connected to the wrists on a ball joint and can flex up and down and left to right, and spin around and rotate around, and do everything a ball joint does. The torso is only able to rotate at the waist a little bit before it hits the front skirting armor. A unique feature it inherited from the Dagger L is the ability to bend in the torso side to side. The torso can only ab crunch forward a little bit, but can bend backwards a significant amount. The front skirting armor is molded together on the runner, but can be snipped apart if you want. It's able to flip all the way up, and the side skirting armor can also move up and rotate out of the way nicely. The thigh can rotate and swivel at the upper hip joint, but I forgot to show it for this review. It's the same movement as the Strike Gundam and Dagger L, because it uses the exact same joint parts. The legs cannot kick backwards due to the paralyzed butt flap, but can kick forwards quite nicely. There's a double-jointed knee bend which gets decent flexion greater than 90 degrees, but not quite 180 due to the calf armor design. You can't tell simply from watching this review, but while handling the kit I noticed that when the leg is fully extended the knee joint locks snugly inside the knee armor. The legs are able to go out to the side 90 degrees for the full splits. The ankle joint consists of a standard rotating joint inside the leg and a ball joint down in the foot. The ankle is able to swing nicely forward and back, and has minor dorsiflexion and plantar flexion at the ankle's ball joint. From the front we can see the inversion and eversion of the ankle joint. Moving on to the accessories, and the P-Bandai high-grade Cosmic Era Strike Dagger comes with a beam saber blade, a beam rifle with an underbarrel grenade launcher, shield, and parachute pack. The only hands the kit comes with are the standard holding hands, which are the same hands as the Strike and Build Strike Gundams, and the Dagger L. This means it can hold all of the same accessories as those kits. The beam saber handle is mounted onto the back and is easily removed. It's secured by a small peg that plugs into the same hole that accepts the beam saber blade. The beam saber blade simply plugs into the handle, which is then slid into the hand easy as. The hands are able to securely hold onto the beam saber handle with no problems. To wield the beam rifle, simply remove the hand cover on the hand and place the grip of the rifle in the hand. Reattach the hand cover and the beam rifle is now secure in the hand. Since the hands are simple holding hands, the rifle can be wielded by either hand. The front handle on the beam rifle can rotate side to side and can be held with the opposite hand to create a stable firing platform. The only color inaccuracy is the sight should be blue. The shield connects via a ball joint to the adapter, which slides down the back of the arm and clicks into place. The inside of the shield needs to be painted gray to be anime and art accurate. The Strike Dagger is now fully armed and ready to fight for a blue and pure world. By removing the beam saber, saber mount, and the panel on the back, we can see the mounting point for the parachute pack. The parachute pack is a very simple design with a single peg connection point, and it plugs into the back of the mobile suit very easily. It has an amazing level of detail just like the rest of the model kit. The only feature it lacks is being able to actually open up and deploy the parachute. Since the Strike Dagger model kit is based on both the Strike Gundam and the Dagger L, it is fully compatible with all Striker packs. In universe it did not have this capability as the feature was cut out of the production model for ease of manufacturing, but since gunpla is freedom, we can have Striker packs on our Strike Dagger. For this demonstration, we'll simply use the AL Striker from the newer HGCE Strike Gundam. As you can see, it fits perfectly with zero clearance issues. Like all model kits of the Strike line, it's backwards compatible with older kits. Since the Strike Dagger has shoulder mounting points, it's also compatible with the shoulder sections of the older launcher and sword striker packs. The particular ones shown here are from the 2012 high-grade Gundam Seed Perfect Strike Gundam. This is where I point out that Bandai needs to remake the old launcher and sword packs as either high-grade or entry-grade add-on packs. For size comparison, here it is next to the RX-78-2 Gundam, and the always bulky Zaku 3. This kit is rated Silver tier. It's an excellent kit with superb articulation, is more than 90% color accurate, and has all of the accessories in the box that it had in the show. It even has a few useful leftover pieces on the runners, like a complete second rifle and beam saber blade. The only reason this kit isn't gold tier is because it's P-Bandai. Being P-Bandai not only limits its availability to everyone, but also diminishes the capability to be a good army builder grunt suit. Even in the stock promotional images, it shows multiple Strike Daggers together in a fire team. It's hard to do that when it's not readily available to the masses. As a bonus, here it is next to other mass-produced mobile suits of the Earth Alliance. On the left is the Strike Dagger, a 2022 release, the 105 Dagger from 2004, and the 2021 Dagger L. This is the order that these machines were produced and rolled out in the show. And here's the order in which the model kits were released. Once again, it's silly that the original mass-produced grunt suit of the Earth Alliance in Gundam Seed is a P-Bandai exclusive. I don't understand Bandai's logic here. The Dagger L is a grunt suit that in the story came after the Strike Dagger, but was released before it as a regular release model kit. If anything, both the Strike Dagger and Dagger L should have been regular releases, and a new modernized 105 Dagger could have been P-Bandai. This would have made more logical sense since the 105 Dagger was a limited production machine within the Gundam seed story and was nowhere near as common as the other two. Leave P-Bandai for the obscure and color variations, not for mainline machines. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. DJ, play my outro.